Welcome to the walkthrough for Chemistry Lab 6A, identifying bond types by physical properties. The objective of this lab is to identify the type of bond in several compounds based on their physical properties. Begin this lab by taking a small portion of 6 different samples provided by the instructor. Each of these will be divided into 4 parts in order to conduct the tests that we will use ultimately to identify the bond types. Place one portion of each sample, one at a time, in an evaporating dish and heat gently to see if it will melt. If it melts with a gentle heat, immediately remove it from the flame. It may be flammable, and melted liquid could begin to vaporize and burst into flames. If it does not melt easily, then heat it more vigorously to see if it can be melted at a higher temperature. Record the results of the ease of melting test as melts easily, melts with difficulty, or does not melt with the Bunsen burner. Take a second portion of this sample, of each sample, place a small amount of that in a 10 millimeter test tube. Fill the test tube about half full with distilled water, which is a polar solvent. You may stir the test tube by flicking with your index finger as illustrated here. Hold your finger at an angle. Allow the test tube to flop in your finger as you pass the angled finger past it. If you do it quickly and just the right timing, you'll get it to swirl in the test tube, which will greatly add in mixing, stirring, so that you can see whether or not this compound is soluble. The test will be repeated again using acetone, and this is to be done under the fume hood. Make sure the fume hood is on and perform the same test under the fume hood. After you have tested solubility and record those results in your data table, then we'll be testing conductivity. We'll use a multimeter. As illustrated, turn the multimeter to ohms, and we'll use the highest setting on the ohm meter. And when we place the probes of the ohmmeter of the multimeter in the solution, we'll test to see if the solution that is created by dissolving the substance will conduct electricity. If the number drops from 1, indicating there is no conductivity, to some number indicating that current is able to pass, we will record it as conducting electricity. We'll record the results for both the acetone and the water solutions made, and then we'll also attempt to record conductivity for solids. And the solids will be measured. Make sure that you get a small piece of the substance, a single crystal, and make firm contact with the electrodes on either side of the crystal to see whether current is able to be passed through the substance. After we've recorded all the data in the data table, you will then use the table found in the lab instructions and compare the properties to determine which type of bond each of the 6 unknown substances possesses.